Hey guys, this is Seb and already reporting back with the conclusion of Fulminations in the Frost. To recap, in part 1 I talked about the initial feedback from unlocking the 2 new weapons up to the Banbaro unlock on the overworld. In this video, I'll be talking about the remaining quests to the Zinogre fight, the additional equipment unlock from Barioth and Zinogre, and lastly some general feedback after clearing the patch. Bringing back this graphic from the last video, there are actually 6 quests in between, plus the unlock quest to Barioth and 4 more to our first Zinogre fight. The quests leading to Barioth are actually pretty annoying, with quite a few missions requiring specific monster kills, so that may impede progress for quite some time. The gathering quests aren't too bad, with gathering 10 of any material from any node. The quests to Zinogre are actually much quicker, with the stall points right before the fight, requiring 2 Barioth's hunt in the overworld. Right now they only spawn in the forest area, so you gotta explore around and be pretty lucky with the spawns. After the encounter with Zinogre, you get one more quest hunting the new monsters, requiring them to be 6 stars or above for a T3 material reward and a short teaser for our next event on the 15th. If you're out of the loop, there will be a Huntathon event from the 15th to the 17th, and the times are not disclosed yet. Huntathons will essentially be a location-specific series of 5 fights, with the event monster appearing at the 5th and final fight, and up to 4 players can join at the same time. For our first Huntathon, Zinogre will be the prize at the end. So starting off with Barioth, it's not that difficult of a fight. Most of its attacks involves it jumping around the arena and then slamming down right afterwards. It has a tail swipe and a ranged attack, so you gotta fight it like a hybrid between a Rathian and a Tobi Kadachi. Although Zinogre will be a much more difficult fight when we fight it at ranks 7 or 8 or 9 and above. There are 2 phases to Zinogre, uncharged and charged. In its uncharged form, it does the typical arm swipes, backward flips, and shoulder charges. It does have a sneaky attack where it jumps backwards, welcoming you to charge in immediately, and then it'll shoulder attack you right afterwards. So you gotta watch out for that. In its charged phase, right after a lightning strike for its transformation, it moves faster, hits harder, and chains much faster. The most common combo is a swipe right in front of it, comboing into a somersault slam. It's not uncommon for it to repeat this attack once or twice, and it also has empowered versions of its typical attacks from its uncharged forms. The Barioth set, no matter if it's the weapon or the armor, it feels like its sole purpose is to gear you up for the Zinogre fight. Its equipment skills revolve around evade distance up and ice elemental up, both hugely useful when fighting something as nimble and evasive as Zinogre. Moreover, I do like the bow with spread shot at charge levels 3 and 4, in contrast to the Legiana bow, which only has piercing shots and rapid shots. I believe that the Barioth bow will see a lot more use for, say, Diablos or Black Diablos. The Zinogre set, though, really reinforces dual blades. With Artful Dodger with evasive concentration and burst, it all motivates a very nimble and highly offensive build. The math has already been done on Reddit, and it seems like the meta would be to use a mixture of Zinogre and Rathian to set the skill burst to level 5, and using the Rathalos helm to get attack boost. Fulminations in the Frost is the first major update we have on Monster Hunter now. We got dual blades, the lance, and 4 new monsters introduced into the game. As a city dweller, I would say the total time to completion is around 5 to 6 hours of really dedicated time to completing the quests. For rural areas, I would wager it to be much more substantial. The new monsters closely resemble the fights from the console games, although a more simplified version. The equipment sets, aside from looking pretty cool, unless you plan to main dual blades or somehow got a guarding build to work, I would say pass on them and continue to focus on your current main build. If we count the Huntathon as part of the update, this would both be good and bad. The good being that event monsters having a fixed spawn location and you just don't have to be lucky to find them in the overworld. The bad being that it's likely going to be monetized, and if you're in a rural area, you might be out of luck for new monsters if you don't have any Huntathons in your immediate area. Overall, I do find this update to be very positive. A quirky new storyline to introduce the new monsters, a limited equipment set to further enhance a veteran player's arsenal, while easing in new players into the different combinations found in Monster Hunter. If we refer to their website, we're going to get another huge update in Q1 of 2024, and if it resembles something like Fulminations in the Frost, I'll be quite happy. So that's the conclusion of Fulminations in the Frost, and I hope you guys enjoy the new weapons and the monsters as well. I'll be seeing you next time, probably in a few days, during a Zinogre Huntathon.